YouTube, how you doing? Murph here, bringing you another product review. Today's review is going to be on the SCUF Reflex Pro. This is the newest controller released by SCUF, and it's compatible with obviously PS5, but also PC as well. This is probably the best aftermarket option for PlayStation controllers right now. Typically, PlayStation controllers don't get quite as much love as their Xbox counterparts as far as third-party controllers, aftermarket things. But we are starting to see more of these controllers pop up, and this is definitely the king of all of them. And it does come at a king's price. So this thing starts at $230, and that is for the Pro version. There's two other models as well. There is a SCUF Reflex that starts at $200, and there's also a SCUF Reflex FPS, which is specifically designed with first-person shooters in mind, and that is a $260 controller. And if you're interested in seeing the differences between all three of those, I'll shoot a quick graphic up on the screen right now, but you can go over to SCUF's website and look at the differences between all of these controllers and figure out which one fits your playstyle the best. But I think most people are probably going to end up with this one. And we'll get into the specifications here in a moment, but as usual, we'll start off by talking about design and build quality. Now, as far as the design is concerned, it's pretty much what you can expect from a standard PlayStation 5 controller. You've got your D-pad over here, you've got your symmetrical joysticks, which do feel quite good. This does feature anti-friction rings, so it's very smooth all the way around the movement. All of the buttons actually on this controller feel quite good. The D-pad is a little on the mushy side. I wish it was just a little bit more tactile, but it doesn't feel bad at all. And all of the other buttons feel fantastic. The triggers and bumpers are both really smooth. The touchpad feels great. Nice little tactile click there, very smooth. This model, the Pro, does have the performance grips on the back. So if you're somebody that has sweatier hands or just likes to have a little bit more of a firm grip on your controller, those feel really good. They're very tacky, but they're not overly obtrusive. You get a little bit of branding right there on the inside of the grips. You have an onboard mic mute button, standard 3.5mm jack on the bottom, USB-C connector up top for charging and playing in wired mode. But the biggest thing here, the star of the show, as with most other SCUF controllers, are obviously the paddles on the back. And these paddles are fully remappable, and you can actually choose between different profiles here. There's 3 different selections, so you can set up to 3 different profiles for this controller. The only con I really have about this design, and it's not even really the design per se of the controller itself, it's just the color options that are available. This is not a fully customizable controller in terms of the colors and what you can add to it like most SCUF controllers are. It's one of the things SCUF is known for, is being super customizable. And for these controllers, there's a variety of different colors that you can choose from. I believe the SCUF Reflex Pro has 6 different colors if I'm not mistaken, and I think the SCUF Reflex and the Reflex FPS each have like 3 or 4 or something like that. But the colors that are available are very good, but as far as customizing each individual part of this controller, they just don't have that option, at least not yet. You know, with the Xbox Instinct, for example, you can choose different triggers and bumpers and the XYAB buttons and the D-pad, and you can put different colored rings in here, different color and design face plates. You can pretty much customize it however you want, and you don't really get that option here with the SCUF Reflex Pro. One of the other cool things that I forgot to mention about the design, you can actually remove each of these paddles on the back, and to do that, it's really simple. You just kind of lift up a little bit and pull straight down, and you're just gonna pull it straight out like that. It's a little stiff, but don't be afraid to really pull it out a little bit. And you can remove the outer one same way, just kind of lift it up, pull straight down. So if you wanna play with just the outer ones, you can remove the inner paddles. If you wanna play with just the inner ones, you can remove the outer paddles, but that is something to be aware of. And then to put it back on, you just kind of line it up. Apparently is easier said than done. There we go. You just line it up and push it right back in, and you're ready to go. Now, moving away from design and talking about the build quality, this controller feels very well built. We already kind of talked about the buttons themselves. The back buttons are very tactile. Everything feels really good. The grip on the back, because it's molded into the controller, doesn't feel like it's going to have any issues wearing down or peeling up or anything like that. It's also got anti-friction rings around the thumbsticks, which is going to keep those protected. You're not going to get that white dust in there, and these joysticks should be very well protected. And it's got a nice little bit of heft to it. It's not overly heavy, but it doesn't feel like some cheap piece of plastic either. It's got a nice little bit of weight to it in the hand, and that does make it feel like it's a high quality controller. Now, as far as longevity is concerned, I can't really speak to that. This is a brand new controller. I don't know how it's going to hold up over time. And I try to stay away from durability in these controller reviews anyways, because it's really all over the map. It doesn't matter how much you pay for a controller. The unfortunate reality is it doesn't matter if you're talking about Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation controllers, doesn't matter. Controllers are the weakest link of a setup. They tend to develop stick drift. The triggers and bumpers are one of the first things to go. It's just the unfortunate reality of modern controllers. There's so much technology packed into these things, and there's so many small moving parts that something is bound to go wrong. Fortunately, SCUF does have a 6-month warranty on their controllers, which for the money you're paying, I kind of would like to see a 12-month warranty on these, or at least an extended warranty plan where you can pay a little extra for an extended warranty. But 6 months is pretty decent as well. I've never had to deal with SCUF's warranty department, so I don't know how easy it is to get them to fix or replace your controller if it breaks. But it does have a 6-month warranty against basically anything that is not considered wear and tear. All right, so we've already discussed the design and build quality. Now let's talk about the specifications. This controller measures 6.3 inches long, 4.17 inches wide, and it's about 2.6 inches thick. We've already discussed it does have a USB Type-C connector and a 3.5 millimeter stereo headset jack. It does have the symmetrical thumbstick layout like we're used to with PlayStation controllers, and it does have Bluetooth wireless connection, which has a range of up to 45 feet. Although I will say in my personal use, I haven't gotten much further than about 25 feet out of it. Of course, there's different variables as to why that could be. Could be other wireless interference in my house, could be a variety of things. It's rated for up to 45 feet though. It does have a 6-month warranty, and this is compatible with PlayStation 5. It's also compatible with PC as long as you're running anything newer than Windows 7. It's compatible with Mac OS Catalina or newer, and it's actually compatible with iOS as well, as long as you're running software that is newer than 10.0. So overall, the question is, would I recommend buying this controller? The main thing you're gonna have to take into account here is the overall price. The cheapest you're getting out the door for one of these is with the original SCUF Reflex for $200. And then of course you've got the SCUF Reflex FPS for $260, and this one here, which is the Pro, for $230. So minimum $200. Realistically, you're probably going to spend $230 to $260 on it, and that is a lot of money even for a customized controller. You do have to take into consideration the price here, but the other thing you have to take into consideration is that there's not nearly the aftermarket for PlayStation 5 controllers that there is for Xbox controllers. This is definitely the most premium PlayStation 5 controller that you can get right now, and probably the foreseeable future, I would imagine. So it really comes down to how serious of a gamer you are and if you need those back paddles. I would say definitely if you are a primarily first-person shooter type of gamer, I think this is definitely worth the price. The paddles in the back in this day and age are almost a necessity to play at any kind of high competitive level at all. If you're mostly a gamer that plays maybe RPGs, racing sims, maybe even sports games, I don't know if this is worth the price, just to be honest. But I think if you play a lot of first or third person shooters, or if you're just someone who thinks they could get a lot of use out of the back paddles, or if you're just looking for the most premium controller you can buy for the PS5, then I think it's definitely worth the price. It's a great controller, very solid build quality, back paddle placement is good, you are getting wireless functionality, multiple profiles, and you can choose from a variety of color options. So for most people, I think I would recommend this controller. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it useful. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to continue seeing other content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you can be notified of when I post new content, and YouTube will catch you later.